Well, kia ora tātou. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. You're here with me, Manawa, and Mel.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, Bobby. And we got a pretty cool couch crew today. We're on the green couch in the creative suite here at Grid Manukau, South Auckland. Kia ora, everyone. So today with us, we've got founders and I don't know your other titles, but do all the mahi of one of the most amazing up-and-coming tech companies in Aotearoa, Kwotimation, the one and only Josh and Jarome. What's up, boys?
Kia ora whānau, what's good?
You love it, you love it. You love
Welcome,
the
boys,
ego
welcome.
strokes. What's up with your glasses inside? Josh, is South Auckland so bright?
My future's too bright. My future's way too bright.
Did you have a tangi? You all right?
Nah, I'm good. No red eyes or anything. I just want to do that one joke. That just sounded cooler in my head.
Sorry, and I kind of pipped you there too, eh?
You totally did.
Yeah, sorry about that one, guys. But kia ora kōrero, welcome to our kōrero today. Looking forward to seeing where we go with this. Why don't you guys take a little time up front to introduce yourselves, who you are, where you're from, and what you get up to.
Kia ora. Well, kia ora whānau. You guys have an awesome setup here. We've been amazed. You guys said, "Hey, man, stop stereotyping us, man." But no, it's been amazing to see what you guys have done here. Like you said, we're a startup. My name's Josh. I grew up in Puriroa, ended up moving down to the Wairarapa, where I spent the majority of my life, and then I ended up moving to Auckland, where we are today. And Jarome and I actually met at high school. And, we were the only two brown boys in the class, so we looked across the class and said, "We've got to stick together, cuz."
Our brother.
And so, yeah, that's where
It's a long time ago now, actually.
Which high school were you guys at?
Wairarapa College.
Which town is that in?
So it's in a town called Masterton.
Yeah.
I lived about 15 k's out in a smaller town called Carterton. And
You know what? We just rolled through your hood
Your
last
hometown.
week.
yeah,
Yeah.
good bakery pies there. Did you stop?
Oh no, we stopped for Kai in Greytown.
So that's
We're a bit upper
another,
class, you know.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
another
yeah.
stomping ground of mine. I used to play rugby for Greytown Rugby there.
Oh, choice.
Choice.
Yeah, my cousins all lived down there.
Yeah.
Took allowance taking over down.
That's what's up. Sure, bro, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Good
kia
to have
ora.
you. How about you, Jerome?
Nisambula. My name is Jarome. I guess my background is family moved from Fiji to the Wairarapa, to Masterton specifically. Masterton was actually voted the most beautiful town in New Zealand, I think 2017 or 2018, one of those.
Oosh.
Wow.
So it's a shame that you guys didn't stop in for Kai over there.
Sorry about that.
No, and then from Masterton, I'm the eldest of 4 kids. Younger baby sister's a doctor over in Rotorua, and younger brother's over in Japan doing his thing, and youngest brother is actually just up the road at Equippers sort of Bible college.
So startup is his opportunity to take it to the next
Take
level.
that next round.
Yeah, you got to show them up, eh?
Yeah.
Doctor,
Go,
what?
I
Watch
know.
this.
Hard out.
Sounds like you
Watch me
come from
now.
a family of achievers, Drew.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I'd want to like up the self confidence of my siblings. So I thought I'd just bar relatively low to start with, and then everyone's just smashing it.
Yeah.
They
all peak too soon, eh?
Yeah, now I'm like, oh, okay, I better
Come in
do the real thing that I want to do now.
Tricked you all.
You guys thought I was a tradie?
Boom.
Yeah. Oh, choice. So, you were both originally tilers, is that right? Come
So
through the
I'm
trades?
a tiler. So I started tiling when I was 19 years old. I was tiling with my cousin. I couldn't do anything right before that. He would even argue I couldn't do anything right tiling. But I was like a petrol guy, so pump petrol, and I would always fill up cars with like diesel and fill trucks up with petrol. And then, I ended up doing some hay carting in the holidays, and one thing kind of leads to another, and I'm doing painting. I see my cousin on my took allowance side, and he's a tiler, and that's when I asked him, "Hey, can I get a job?" And that's when he says to me, "Hey, yeah, you can get a job. You have to play for Greytown." So I play rugby for Greytown, so that's what you guys stop for your Kai. And I ended up starting my whole tiling career there, and then I was tiling all the way up to the point where we transitioned to a tech startup. But Jarome,
With me, I went from classroom, uni, and then actually back into the classroom. I became a qualified teacher. When I was at school, I thought I'd like to be a police officer. Josh's dad's actually a detective, and he was telling me, it's a good career, good benefits, and so on. And
That's actually why we moved from Puriroa, because my dad was arresting too many of his cousins. And he'd be like, "Cuz, you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that, cuz."
Yeah, and then I thought about it one day. I think I was out one night and over in, I think, the McDonald's car park back in Marston, and I saw these two guys sort of get into this big fight, and this one guy like right hooked this other guy, and he fell to the ground. And then I saw the police come. And I was like, I don't really want to be breaking up fights at like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really built for that. So I thought, what else do I like doing? And sort of sports and was something I enjoyed, and so I became a PE teacher. Actually, was overseas in London. Coming back to New Zealand, I thought I can't go back to the Wairarapa. And Josh gave me the opportunity to come work with him. Thought I'd be, finally become a real man sort of thing and develop this tiling skill. And it's basically been about 3 weeks sort of on the tools. The rest of the time it's just been me behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
Back to your roots.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. And so then how did that turn into what you guys are doing now at Kwotimation?
Yeah, so, when Jarome, came from England, he's in England, and he came back to New Zealand. I kind of caught him up with what we were doing. And at that point, I'd already kind of made the decision that I wanted to get involved in making things easier for my customers. So instead of them having to come on to my website and then give me a call, like to come out and quote their job, I was able to provide them a service where they could come online and go through a 3-step process and get a quote. And so I'd already started the ball rolling on that. And then when Jarome got to New Zealand, his assumption that he was going to be, on the tools.
Doing dirty work.
Manly work.
Becoming a real man.
Yeah.
But we managed to keep those little office hands intact. And we started this idea of helping our customers. And so obviously the idea has changed somewhat. Instead of just being, a tiling business that offers a service to our customers, we're now like sharing this technology. That was really the foundation of when Jarome and I kind of got involved in tech and stuff. So it wasn't really like we want to be tech entrepreneurs,
Didn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what a startup was.
Yeah.
All I was trying to do was fix a problem for my business, which was I spent far too much time quoting jobs, and I wasn't making money on the materials that I installed. And I looked around at every one of, my tile brothers, and they were all having the same problems. And so I thought this tech idea could help me. I didn't think about them at that point.
Yeah, that's so
and
cool.
now our idea is obviously to share it.
Yeah. It's such a pure, motive, I guess, eh?
Yeah. And I think you can see it. You can see it today. You look at some tech entrepreneurs, you can see they just want to be tech entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But if you're not solving like a problem, it's pretty hard to be one.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty hard to be an entrepreneur if you're not solving a problem, like tech entrepreneur anywhere across the sector. But
Totally.
you said it was a 3-step process. Like, how did you come up with it? What did that actually look like?
Yeah.
In the in the early days.
I was thinking about this last week actually. How it all started was this the salesman for like a website. He came to my office and said, "Hey, your website currently is doing very poorly with SEO. Here's some websites that we've done. Have a look at them and see how they've got lots more content on them and whatnot." And as I was looking on them, I saw for another completely different industry this pricing tool. And I said to him, "Can you do that for our business?" And he said, "We could, but there's a whole lot of things that are complex about what you guys are doing." And so that's when we started the investigating of what it could look like. And that's when we kind of got to this 3-step process. Little did I know what we were really kind of doing at that point was UX and UI stuff, which is, user experience stuff. But really what I was thinking in its pure sense was I just want to make things easier for my customer. They don't understand this. They understand that. How can I use what they do understand to help my business automate that process?
Yeah.
And it was very simple because I had an understanding of how technology and the internet worked. Very, very basic understanding. But I knew what consumers kind of wanted to see. And so just combining that with my understanding of tiling was the start of it.
Yeah.
And then how did the tech side come in? Like you said, I mean, you sound super flash with all your tech terms now. Like,
UX UI.
but obviously then you were just, like you said, you know, you were a tiler trying to fix a
True.
problem for your customer and trying to save yourself time and money. So I guess how did that segue actually happen where you're now rattling off these acronyms like a pro?
My cousin, his name's Sione, he works in the army and he works in like intelligence. So that's probably why I got some help from him.
Do you have clearance to share that?
I don't know actually, but he was helping me kind of understand what it could look like what we could do. So he was like hearing like, oh, you had this many customers come onto your thing. Wow, it's working. Like, what if you did it like this? What if you did it like that? What if you did it white labeled? And as he was mentioning things like that, I would investigate it, look into it. And that's where the idea for Kwotimation started. I mean, I never thought, it was going to be this long-term tech pursuit. I just thought it was going to be, I don't have to travel to my customers' houses anymore.
Yeah.
And get bothered with no's.
Yeah. So what was the turning point for you when that happened, where you changed from solution for your customers to actually there's something in here, to the point now where you've given up what you were doing and this is your sole focus, right?
Yeah, true. There was probably two main reasons. One was that there was nothing like this for our industry, and that excited me. It excited me also to be able to help. So like first thing in our industry that could help my tile friends, like my cousins, like, the guy that taught me to tile, it could help him. He really liked the idea too, and there was a ton of other tilers that, when they saw what we did for our tiling business, they were like, man, I wish I had that. And it was like, man, I can help these other guys, and I can help tons of people all around the world with this problem. And so that excited me. So I'd say more of like an empathetic type reason. And then the inspiring part of it was, I just didn't see many of our people in this space, and I thought we had a really good idea, and I just wanted to kill it, for us.
Yeah, that's cool. That's me,
So
right?
it's like a combination of that. And then also, I think just something different, like I was tiling for 10 years, and to have this opportunity to do something different was, pretty special.
And it sort of made sense. Like, we developed this sort of solution. It was being used. We were seeing, X results. And it's sort of like logical to just be like, if it's working for us, then it can work for other people, sort of thing. And you've got other sort of companies providing their solutions for other people, and it's like, we can do it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So how long ago was this going on, where you were just developing your product just for yourself, for what was your tiling business called? Tiling.co.nz.
Tiling.co.nz,
Yeah.
I mean, even how we got that domain, super lucky.
Yeah.
There's been a whole lot of like events that have happened. My cousin Sion, he hates me using luck, because we did do the mahi, but that website, how much do you reckon we paid for that?
For the domain?
Yeah.
$200.
$70.
Yeesh.
And usually, people usually say 2,000. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
I don't pay that
Ask it
much
again,
for
ask
our
it again.
websites.
Come on,
How much did we-
$10,000.
How much did we
Okay,
pay
let's
for
cut,
Ngahere?
How much did we pay for that?
200 grand?
It only cost us $70.
Oh, wow.
And I actually thought it was a scam, when it was $70. But yeah, we got it for $70. So, what was the question again?
How long ago was this? 2 years ago?
2 years ago-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Just over 2 years ago we started.
And then, so our paths crossed last year, 2020, during Kōkiri program, which you fellas were a part of, along with, who else was in there? Your mum, eh?
My mum was helping us with our UX UI.
Yeah.
She's from a typesetter world, done a lot of design stuff and for papers and stuff like that. So she helped us heaps with it.
Yeah, she's got a good eye for design. Yeah.
Real good eye.
And so Kōkiri, was that a good experience for you guys?
Yeah, Kōkiri was like eye-opening, especially, for me and my background, hadn't been in business before, and then, coming into Kōkiri, and then just the learnings, that they give you, they sort of push you to investigate, assumptions that you'd made, and actually sort of go and validate those assumptions, whether it is about the problem or about how you are looking to solve that problem, and is it shared with the people that you're wanting to, to provide your problem, your solution to. Sorry. And so that sort of technical aspect was really helpful and really sort of helped grew us, but also, I guess, just the relationships and the connections that you build with, one, the other people that are on the course, but two is the people that are leading it. They really, you really feel like you sort of like they care about your business, but also that they care about, how you're going, your own sense of well-being, whether that is, we talked about, physical well-being all the way to, spiritual well-being. So it's like fully encompassing sort of experience. Yeah.
Choice.
Yeah, they do.
It was awesome, mate. I mean, I sat on the other side as a coach, and we would get together as coaches once a week, and we would talk about the teams. And so it would be an opportunity for the coaches to share how are the teams going, and we could help each other.
Tell us what Leon said.
Yeah, we could help each other as coaches. I remember being like, the poor
out.
fellas that have Leon. Nah.
What did Leon say about us?
But even like, I guess just to back up what you were saying, Jarome, like even in those hui that we would have talking about you guys, there was always so much like, I guess, aroha for you as people and for your ideas and what was going on. And I loved it as a coach, being in that kind of environment where as an entrepreneur you're like cared for, because I think it is actually quite rare to find people that actually give a damn about you when you're in business and when you're trying to go hard. It's more, I feel like it's more common to find people that are keen to shoot you down or point out your failures. So I really loved it, and I loved being around so many Māori that are trying to do something.
Exactly.
Totally,
And they care about you, yes, but they're also like knowledgeable, and they're also well connected. We've been introduced to our head developer. We've been introduced to our lead investor. And it was only through kokiri that was possible.
Yeah.
So was it a big, I guess, a moment for your business where you turned a corner, do you think, at kokiri?
Oh, we're not here if we, like, literally here even doing a podcast.
Yep.
We're not here doing this if it's not for kokiri.
Yeah,
we're not even, we don't have a business. I don't know if we have a business, Like, I'm a pretty resilient person. I'll push through a lot of things. But I don't rate our chances if we don't go to kokiri. And it's a shame because
so cool.
it is so cool. But it would have been a real shame if we didn't get that, because one, we wouldn't have this opportunity, but two, we wouldn't be able to help all these people that were looking to help. You know, like, later down the track, you're going to see, like, you're going to bump up into a tradesman that we're helping, and you're going to say, man, your life looks good. Things are looking well for you. Family's happy. Things are going right for you. Nice new truck. What's going on? And they're going to say, I use Kwotimation.
Yeah.
And that difference wouldn't be getting made if it wasn't for kokiri.
Yeah.
So I
That's
think
so cool.
I think kokiri's, I can't give it enough points.
Yeah.
And I think too, obviously you both put in the mahi,
Yeah.
You said yourself you did quite a bit of research, you looked into it, like
Yeah.
I think that goes a long way, hand in hand. You mentioned about tradesmen, like a tradesman, and they're going to talk about Kwotimation. Is it going to go cross fields? Like you're in tiling at the moment. Do you see it transferring to other trade areas?
Yeah. Okay, our aspiration is to help as many tradesmen as we possibly can. We don't know all the trades that we can get into just yet, but there's definitely about a good half of them that we can. Basically, if you have a quantifiable rate, we can help you.
Yeah.
So if you're an hourly rate, so like you're like a typical builder or a typical electrician and plumber, we can't see a way to help you just yet. But if you're a quantifiable rate, like a tiler or a painter, etc., we can help, and that's the plan.
Sure. So you guys, you come out the back of kokiri, and I know that at the end of last year, potentially into this year, you were fundraising, getting investors on board for your new concept. What was that like? How did that go down? And how much did you raise?
Well, Josh is a really good.
You're a great poster boy, Jarome. Come on, man.
No, but Josh is really good at communicating, like, you know, our passion and the value that we're trying to achieve, and it's just like very surreal. Like, I didn't even know about like pitching, you know, before.
A whole
doing this
nother
stuff.
world, eh?
Yeah.
How would you describe it? You walk into a room. What's it like? The first room of investors you walked into.
It's like you're naked. You know, like everyone
description.
is like looking at you, expecting, you know, greatness.
And they got it. And they got it. You're welcome.
They got it in spades.
And so it is quite like, yeah, it's just
It is
surreal.
like-
It's crazy. Yeah.
Was it scary?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I only got scared once. I think I only got scared once. I'm a person that's like pretty, you know, resilient with public speaking, and I kind of jump at the challenge. I'm an introvert. Like, it might seem strange, I'm an introvert, but like, I love being by myself. But when duty calls, I love to get out there and get the job done.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly believe there was no one more qualified to do what I was doing
Yeah,
in the
choice.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
so cool.
and that conviction of our product, also being tested in the Kōkiri program, you know, iron sharpens iron, right? And going through Kōkiri, you've got, you know, 30 people who love you, who want to see you succeed. They challenge your ideas. So we go iron to iron 30 times. You think we don't turn up in front of investors sharp?
Yeah.
We turn in front of them sharp. I mean, this is proven for. We went to one group of investors before Kōkiri. They're like, no, right? We went to them after. They're like, here's almost $200,000. So, like, when you think about that,
Yeah.
Choice.
and at that point, it wasn't like we went from, like, you know, 0 customers to 100 customers. We went from 0 to 0. We were
Yeah.
still in the same position,
Yeah.
but our idea had been tested. We had started to develop our product. We were building a team.
We
These
knew
are
how to
all-
pitch.
Yeah, we knew what was expected of us. We had a lead
And you
investor.
knew what you wanted to pitch for as well, eh?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you were asking for.
So I think there was one time though, and I was scared, and I remember just shrinking into the lowest version of myself. It's strange how that happens, eh? But I remember I was in this room, and we were like 30 stories up in CBD, and there's all these investors, and they are all prim proper to the roof. And I remember getting really angry. Anger is something I've always struggled with in my adult life. It's something I struggled with. And when I did like anger counselling, I got through all that. But I remember my cousins would come up to the Wairarapa where I was from, and there's a lot of Pākehā there. And one of my when they would get introduced to these people, they used to think that everyone hated them. And I used to always struggle, like, how do you think these people hate you? They never said that.
Yeah.
But I remember in that room feeling like everyone hated me.
Wow.
They don't want me there. They don't like my skin color.
Yeah.
I was making up stuff
Wow.
on the spot
Yeah.
of what they were thinking. I just hated them
Yeah.
for that split second. And then I think the realization of what my cousin would communicated to me back then was like, that's the way I'm interpreting this. Like, no one has said anything.
Yeah.
I haven't even bothered to go say hello to anyone yet. Like,
It's all
but I
in your
remember that
head,
was the
eh?
one time I actually felt scared. Everything else, I think we did pretty well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
We would prepare. We had our pitches ready. We had pitch
Yeah.
decks ready. We don't have bags under our eyes for like no reason. But we would stay up and we would get things done.
Mean. So is this a seed fund round?
Pre-seed.
Pre-seed? And how much did you go for?
500, yeah.
500K.
Yeah.
And did you get it all?
We got most of the way there. So
Man.
basically it's rounded off to 500.
Yeah.
But
401. Nah.
That's up.
Rounding up.
251.
That's
Close
the
enough,
one. And
eh?
how long did that take you guys? How long, as far as like going to events, pitching, meeting with investors to getting that full 500? How long was that window?
Ooh.
It was about 3 months, 3 months.
Yeah, and I think it was
Eesh.
drawn out as well because it was right at the end of the year and it was coming up to, Christmas break and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We had some really cool opportunities at the beginning too. We had in the first maybe month, we pretty much had raised a good amount of it.
Yeah.
And we also had opportunities to like not go down the angel round and you know work with Rob. We had opportunity for one guy just to take it all out. So we could have made 3 months, 3 days.
Yeah. Mean.
You guys done anything like that? Fundraising?
Not like that. We haven't really developed a product or business offering yet that goes down that route.
Yeah.
All of our stuff are what we call social enterprises.
But Rob works with you guys.
Yeah. But he kind of come in as a, like we don't sit in the Hill Ferrance portfolio. He kind of came in as someone that believed in our concept and helped out with a bit of stuff in the start. So it's a bit of a different relationship. There. Yeah. We'll see where we get to though, potentially with Cornet.
Cool.
We've got a few ideas around where we might want to take it.
Nice.
That might warrant having to go out for investment. Yeah, but we do a lot of we raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because we have a really mixed revenue model of what we do, and some of it come through big partnerships or bigger contracts.
See that North something.
Foundation North. Yeah, so they have they fund a part of our impact side of what we do.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have lots of different avenues that we get funding. So we're definitely out pitching and then tendering for contracts as well as the way that we get our cash, yeah. But nothing like that, nothing like what you guys have done. Yeah.
One thing that we heard, I think, before we had gone to investors, and this wasn't from Kōkiri, don't want to get confused, but people would say, investors are racist. Like, that's not at all the experience. And if they are racist, they like the colour green. You know what I mean? Like, they want to make money, right?
They're greenists.
Yeah, they're greenies.
Colorists.
Yeah, they want to make money. And I think, for other Māori entrepreneurs, the encouragement is don't listen to that stuff. Just get after it. If you have a really good idea and it can be commercialized and make money.
How often have you used your skin color to your advantage?
Yeah, that's the other
Do
thing.
you play it all the time? Like, hey, you want a brown boy to back?
You know what? I did say that, actually. I said to them, I said it one night, I said, and I think this is more post. So they basically said to these investor group, said to us, we've got this big chunk of money that we're wanting to do. We've got one more pitch night. Do you guys want to come into that? Because we pitched to them on Zoom, and then it came out of lockdown. And that's the other thing. Like, we were doing this over Zoom.
Yeah.
So we had all the filters on.
Yeah.
But we
and
were
no
doing
pants.
So does that mean they actually thought you were white?
Surprise! Oh,
Did it get dark in here?
And you're a man?
where's the doggy face that you had? It was actually a really good thing. So what happened was the next time we did it in person, what I said to them was, you guys are. I told them some statistics of Māori entrepreneurs getting funding, which is very low, and I am still to see any other business in our position do what we've done.
Yeah.
As a Māori business.
Yeah.
Or Pacific business. So we have $0 from our customers. We have 0 customers. We go to investors. We go to investors with an idea.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time you get laughed out the door.
But you had proof, right, of your concept because you had increased
Yes.
your own revenue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
we've-
shown how much.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
have proven it with our tiling business and the value of that.
Yeah.
But because we didn't have that
Other validation.
other validation from that tilers would actually sign up to this. For them to believe in us at that time is massive.
Yeah.
And so what I told them is like, you guys are investing in us, and we're Māori, and you guys have an opportunity, and you're taking that opportunity to invest in entrepreneurs like us.
Yeah.
You're like beating the odds with your money. That's
Take my money, Josh.
Yeah.
Take my money.
so that's a cool thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
And it was more of an encouragement to them, but I
Yeah.
never did it as a guilt trip.
Yeah. So how's your life changed since quitting tiling and going full-time tech entrepreneurs?
Other than you've
Are
still
you
got
like-
really nice smooth hands, Jarome.
Thank you. I guess for me is that I'm like learning a whole lot of different things that I will eventually forget anyway, but and have to keep asking our software developers what things mean. But I guess that for me the biggest thing is working with our team. So before the investment, before any of that, we didn't have any employees, and so being able to have
I'm not good enough, Jarome. That's all I'm hearing right now.
It was just bros, eh?
So we got some expertise in. And then just like discussing things with them, and I guess that for me is the biggest thing.
So
just
you
working on
like
the product sort
you
of
manage the team? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
What's your title? Do you have a title?
Just bro.
Ah.
Hey, bro.
Liar.
The CE bro.
TM and a little C with a little round circle on it.
So that's sort of one side is like really seeing this product be built and exceed sort of expectation by this awesome group of these awesome two software developers, and then on the other hand we're now like looking to make some marketing and sales assets, and we're about to go and start selling this thing. So that's probably how
Sophia and Tim are superstars.
Yeah.
Is that your crew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many on your team now?
The bros and Sophia and Tim.
Yeah. 4 of you, eh?
Yeah.
What about for you, Josh? How's your life changed since?
Well, like, even though we've got money in the bank, I'm like poorer probably than ever. Like I used to, we don't get paid high salaries.
Every cent counts, eh, when you get into a position like this.
Totally. And we've got a commitment, not just to, there's pressure, right? There's pressure of performing as a business and adding value to your consumers. Also, there's pressure as leaders of this to make sure that our team is, well looked after. And then, to our families, wife, things like that.
Yeah.
And then I think also, like, we don't want to fail. And it's not because I'm scared of failing, but it's because I want to take it to another level for our people, and it's like, and also to our investors, they've given us money. And I want them, when they look at me and my skin color and they look at the things that are associated with me, they think that's a good bet.
Yeah.
So I want to perform. I think that's the pressure that I've probably, the only pressure I feel. I don't get stressed. People often, the Tyler said to me the other day, I could never be in, he said this, Jarome, I could never be in Josh's position, too much stress. But for me, I don't really get stressed because my money's not attached to the business.
Yeah.
But I still feel this pressure of performing to a high level.
Yeah.
So that when people look at me and they look at everything that they could judge me on. Like
the high performing bros, eh?
Yeah.
I guess another thing is LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Like before doing this entrepreneur thing, I did like my LinkedIn game was, it's still not strong, but like 50, connections sort of thing.
500 plus game.
Yeah, hit 500 now. But yeah, and then just on LinkedIn, and I guess part of this ecosystem, which is again like weird that I'm saying it.
Yeah, the lingo, eh? The lingo tight with you too.
And then you're getting messages to like come and like speak at like courses, link up with other like entrepreneurs. It's cool, linking up and sort of sharing ideas and stuff like that. But for me to get that now, it's kind of like weird, that's something wasn't normal.
No one want to talk to a PE teacher, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. You want to come? No.
Didn't they ever ask you to do podcasts before?
Yeah, exactly.
So show us how they kick the ball. And when you told Luke to kick the ball like that, how did you feel? Shout out to the PE teacher. Shout out to the PE teachers.
Do your thing.
Love
Do your thing.
Love the teachers.
And so, yeah, that's somewhere it's changing. I guess for me going in and being a teacher, I didn't see many island teachers growing up in our area. So being there as a teacher was like cool. Like I can, I'm sort of showing the way, being an example, and I guess that's been carried on into sort of this space. Again, there's not many of us out there, and I guess because we have achieved this thing, we are now like being asked to go and do.
But the funny thing is that with a PE teacher, you do like a 3-year degree, and if they actually talk about PE, you're like, no problem, right? The problem with this tech thing is like, oh, tell us how to talk about tech. It's like, man,
I don't know.
all I've got is anecdotal, like,
Sunday, Father's Day.
Sophie and Tim, please report to the office.
How I did it was just have a mate that has a good idea.
How I did it was I just, I just carried on forward. I got a Callahan grant.
Yeah.
Shout out to Callahan Innovation.
You know what I
but
always
not
say?
really.
What I say to people sometimes is like, because when Rob jumped on board to back us on with Cornet, the conversation that we had, he was still in LA at the time. We were in lockdown about this time last year actually, and we were having a conversation, and in the midst of everything, I was definitely feeling the pressure.
Cool.
And I was ready to not do the concept, and it was in the conversation with Rob that he kind of gave me the pep talk that I needed to suck it up and do it. And in that conversation, I got really emotional and started crying, and then he started crying, and then he said he'll back me. And so whenever people ask me, how did you get an investor on board, I'm like, just cry.
Rob cried.
Yeah.
Rob cried, okay. Just remember that one.
Yeah, a few times actually. He's
He's a
shed a few
softie.
tears with us.
Made
He's
Rob
a
cry.
softie.
Yeah.
I don't think we have.
Do you know how we got connected with Rob? So he comes onto our Kōkiri program. He's helping us as all the teams on the program. I think those calls used to be, like those Zoom calls used to be the most full,
Yeah.
Everyone
When he came on.
loved to come and listen.
I used to mock Rob about how much the Kōkiri people were fanning over him.
Used to.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was like,
huge
mate,
fanboy.
yeah, actually I still do.
You're like, mate, you cry. Have you told them how much you cry? Shout out to the tears. I listen, I can't talk, I'm the biggest sucky bubba in the world too. So.
Mate,
But I
part of
pushed
life,
those tears back in. You guys were there that day. I pushed those back
sit
in.
and flow, bro. Embrace the sweat.
What are those cheeks, bro? What are your cheeks?
How we got connected with Rob is so he's doing these Zoom courses, on the course, Kōkiri course, and he talks about that. Not many teams get investment from him, and he's saying like, just get comfortable with that. Like getting to a no early is better than getting to a no 2 months later.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go through that. So as soon as you hear a no, that's okay. Move forward. Go on. And so at this point, we haven't pitched our idea to Rob or anything like that. But I messaged him after the call and I said to him, hey, when you said that comment, I actually really rate our chances, even though you said that you've heard, 3,000 pitches and only, 30 of them you've ever invested in. I said, I actually rate our chances. It's kind of like that movie, Dumb and Dumber. You have the guy who's looking at the girl and he goes, so what's my chance?
You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
Wow. Wow.
the 200 at the beginning and this.
The disrespect.
Man. Sorry, guys.
and the South
that was
Auckland
taken
so
from
bright.
you guys. I was about to lay down a really cool story. And,
Come up with some original content, will you, Josh? No, go. So, what's the chances of us getting together? Carry on with your story, bro. or do you want to cry? No.
Get back in there.
You might get some money.
So I said to him, like that movie. And when the guy looks at the girl and says, so what's my chances? Is it 1 out of 100? No. So 1 out of 1,000? No. More like 1 out of 1,000,000. And he goes, so you're telling me I've got a chance. And I said to him, I rate our chances, man. And he laughed and said, oh, well, getting to a no is one thing, but what if we get to a yes? Let's catch up when I get to New Zealand. But one thing leads to another, and we actually end up getting his investment before he comes to New Zealand. And I think it's a little bit of, taking a shot, but also showing emotion, right? A little bit of laughter, a little bit of humour.
Being yourself,
Being yourself, yeah.
Yeah. I do. I think one thing I've learned definitely in engaging with investors is that it's so much more about the person, about the entrepreneur, than it is about the idea.
Especially at the beginning.
Yeah. If you can
Because,
be yourself, show your passion. obviously your competency has to come. You have to be competent. You can't just be a dreamer. But it's the person. It's the entrepreneur that they want to back. Eh?
Yeah.
Totally.
I was just going to ask you guys, how much are you loving what you're doing right now?
I actually really enjoy it. It's something that's completely different to what I'd known, and it's something where I'm like invested, in it, and it's something that's really scary, because you just like in your head you're like, this all makes sense to me. Otherwise, I'd be stupid if I'm still around. But at the same time, it's like, but what if what if X happens or Y happens? What if they don't like it? You know, and these are a bit of risk, but it's like fuel to the sort of fire, like.
Yeah.
You want to be challenged and tested, and hopefully grow. So that's why I'm really enjoying it, and working with with Josh he's actually helped me really a lot. And just in terms of like thinking in terms of like my background in teaching, it was always about like removing barriers, trying to help everyone succeed, and sometimes in business it's more like you need to look out, put you and your business needs and your employees' needs first, and like before coming onto this whole journey, like I never really thought like that, and so it's very good like personal growth. So that's why I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think like I love it. Jarome and I I'm sure you guys have the same kind of relationship. We're like yin and yang.
Yeah.
Being different is good. Having diversity in your team, diversity of opinion, helps. But I really enjoy it. We have a real opportunity to build a business that has huge impact while at the same time having huge impact to our pocket.
Yeah.
And we're really excited about that opportunity. And so I think that excitement is what makes it so enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I believe that in a lot of ways this tech world is exactly what it is. It's like another world.
Yeah.
And there's whenua up for grab. There's real opportunity to own a space, and if we can own this space, we can build a business that will help not only our families but.
Why do you think we don't have more Māori and Pasifica in this space?
I think it's. Oh, sorry.
You go, bro.
I was going to say I think it's we don't really challenge ourselves to, and sometimes we're not that critical in terms of like I know I wasn't really thinking about or having discussions with people or like in my family about like, what are problems that we are facing and how could we, provide a solution to that? If that solution's any good, like could we start a business from it sort of thing? And I know from me, I can only, speak about my own experience. Like the fact that I went into teaching, I didn't think when I was, at school, I wanted to do things that I'd only known. And because I wasn't like shown this other sort of world, it wasn't something that I'd aspired to. I didn't even know it sort of existed. I didn't see a path that way. So just not having maybe discussions and maybe ways of thinking about things from my background is maybe why I don't see as many Māori and Pacifica.
Yeah, if you look at if you've heard of equality of outcome versus equality of opportunity, I'm more of an opportunity guy, so I always look at the opportunity. Even though outcomes tell us a story, like, 5% of, like, or you look at Callaghan Innovation, 0.5% of grants are given to Māori. 0.5% of their budget is given towards Māori.
Wow.
So that tells you an outcome, right? But when you look at the opportunity, like the opportunity is there for Māori and Pacific, but it's the education around it isn't. And that's one of the things that is stopping the opportunity. So what I would like to see is in schools, instead of teaching PE, these things, but they should be teaching these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you are seeing it in some schools, entrepreneurship even not just tech, but entrepreneurship in general. How taxes work and how you pay taxes. All these things are going to help our people.
Yeah, I mean.
And I think if there was more of that equality, because in a lot of other families, they're having these conversations.
Yeah.
So
it's that bit there, Bob.
What's happening?
Righty-tighty.
Yes.
You're dropping gold.
You're jiggling. It's going.
I'm dropping gold.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was the bottle. That's why I moved it.
I was rattling.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's going like it just wasn't quite tight.
Oh,
See how it's
this-
spinning like that? Yeah.
Yeah, that there. Sweet.
I think that
Okay.
was the best part of it. This that,
No, you
that
just
bit
dropped
right
a whole
there.
lot of gold.
Let me restart that.
Opportunity.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the thing with tech is that sorry, I can't hear my voice like that. An idiot. Sorry, guys, for sounding like an idiot.
We have to put up with it.
It's a quality of opportunity. I want to see our people have equal opportunity with equal knowledge.
Yeah, I mean.
And
So
when you
good.
look at Kokiri, right, why am I in this position is because I was educated in this. I'm not here if I don't understand. If you don't have the opportunity to understand, how can you ever build a business
Yeah.
or learn to build a business or know what it takes to go and raise money from investors? The only difference that separates me from any of my peers that have the same skin color as me is that I was educated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Educated as a preacher by the sound of that.
How did you actually get onto Kokiri?
Yeah.
Oh, true, yeah.
They actually approached us.
Oh, sorry about it.
Who approached you?
Sorry about it.
They hit
Leon?
us up and just said,
Leon.
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah.
Yeah. By the way, team killers, eh?
They're awesome, eh? They're
awesome.
awesome. Excited for the
Yeah.
next round.
They set the tone, eh? And the kaupapa just flows through
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whole program.
Yeah,
And we don't
it's
even
mean,
talk
eh?
about the fact that we got connected with people that we would never be connected with, like, you know, like
Manawa.
other entrepreneurs.
Manawa Mel.
Who steals all your lines. 200.
Too bright.
Yeah, she saw that one too, eh?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I did. Got you, cuz.
That's 3 strikes, man.
Get some new
Covered.
content,
Covered.
buddy. Okay, do you fellas have any questions that you want to throw our way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Let's
mean, how
go.
did- So you know how you were struggling before Rob came. What was the struggle?
Yeah, the struggle for me was we had our first business, Ngahere Communities, or our second business actually. Our first business we folded once we started Ngahere Communities. So this time last year we were coming up to 2 years old. We had this space that we were running here. We'd gone into lockdown, so everything was different. We had a team of, I think, 5 staff then. We transitioned everyone into this working from home thing. A big portion of our revenue had been cut, and then our partnerships that were vital in the survival of our business were uncertain. And at the same time, we had just launched out our not-for-profit business, so we had 2 businesses that we were running at the same time. So as a entrepreneur, as a business owner, as an employer, I had kind of just been going through all of that for the first time. And so then as part of the kind of like strategy to make sure that we came out the other end of COVID, not just alive but thriving, we kind of dug in, like I did a bit of strategy work around what we were going to do, how were we going to survive this, and how were we going to come out. And we ended up in this piece of resource that we developed called Survive and Thrive, which we shared with a bunch of the entrepreneurs in our network, and kind of looked back into what we were doing, what kind of opportunities could we jump on now that we were in this lockdown season for a while and we weren't sure what the future was going to be like, what kind of skills and talents did we want to bring out, all that kind of stuff. And that was where the concept for Kornei came from.
Okay.
So keep in mind, like I was also started coaching on Kokiri. I also had I had 2 side contracts. One was coaching on Kokiri and one was another piece of work I was doing for this crew in Mount Roskill. So all of that going on, and a little bit of personal whānau stuff going on as well. I was just tired. I was just tired. I'd been stretched. So I came into this, like, developing this brand new startup from a place of just feeling super tired and exhausted and trying to survive. So that was where I was when I was sitting with Rob, and I was like, I don't know if I can be bothered. Like, I don't think it's a cool idea. I think it's going to fly, but I don't think I have the energy. So that was where I was at, and that was where his, like, real pep talk kind of came in.
It's cool.
I sucked it up and
What
did
did
it
he say?
anyway.
What did
What
you say
was
that
that?
connected
Yeah.
this? I was gonna ask.
Some of the things that I think stuck with me was he was like, kind of, what are you afraid of? And I was like, I'm just tired, like straight up, I'm tired. I guess there's always a little bit in you that thinks, what if it doesn't work? And I remember him saying something that was kind of along the lines of, in Aotearoa with the tall poppy syndrome and that, where people will easily shoot you down for trying to get ahead. Like he was like, I just don't understand why that is. Like, it is there if you give it, like, so what if you fail? At least you give it a try. There's nothing wrong with that.
And what
So
is
he was-
fail? Eh?
Yeah.
They don't cut your legs off and send you to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Like, you still live in the
Yeah.
greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you still have your whānau.
So he said some stuff like that, and like, you know, I'll back you on this. You can do this. Yeah, just kind of stuff like that. It wasn't super profound or anything, but it was just that little bit of kind of encouragement, along with the team. Like, it wasn't just his word that got it over the line.
Yep.
We talked about it heaps as a team. I talked about it with a lot of different people about the concept, and got heaps of good engagement and feedback and stuff before we press play.
What's it like, sis, working with Manawa and having her steal all your jokes? And
Nah,
Ruin
bro,
the
I'm just a
punchlines.
little bit more onto it than you. I bring fresh content now.
I don't reuse jokes.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so choice being able to work with your mate. You know, Jarome, you touched on it before. We bring different skills. And I think that's the great thing, is that sometimes I do be like, what is it that I bring again? Like,
Oh, hard. Yeah.
What am I
What-
doing?
what's my role in this business again? But honestly, I think coming off the back, we just came off the back of a road trip from last week, and I feel like that really honed in how cool it is actually working with your friends
Yeah.
Yeah.
and building something so meaningful with people that you love, that you can laugh with, that you can have little one-outs with, but you move on past it. Manawa carries heaps of the strategy and the bigger vision thinking for our business, and so I really just love being able to come in behind and just really support what she can bring to the team, and then just back that up.
Yeah.
And I think that's the
feel
cool
you
thing
there,
about our business partnership, our working together, and I think we're both just tutus, straight up.
Yeah,
We're both
get
mischief.
bored easily. Don't
Yeah.
like doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
I'm super introverted. Mel's super extroverted. She's excellent at building relationships and engaging people super quickly. Like, she could talk to someone for probably like 15 minutes and have their full life story ready to roll, including all their counselling moments and stuff like that. She just has this like knack with people, and that's really awesome for me as well, because people, as much as I can relate to people and all of that, I'm an introvert, and so that it drains a lot of my energy. So yeah, we have heaps of cool complementary skills.
Like that to each other. Play some soft music over there.
We turn the sounds off,
We could have played some for you guys too. But it's cool being in business with your mate, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, there's been this concept, whether it's a Pākehā concept or not, can't work with your family, can't work with your
I reckon
friends.
it's Pākehā is.
That's not true. It's like anything. It could fail with someone you don't know as well. It's all about monitoring expectations, monitoring who, like, roles and like positions, things like that, and like structures.
And strengths.
Yeah, strengths, all
Yeah.
that stuff. But it's like, it's not about whether the dude's your cousin or your brother or your friend.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah.
So the
Skills.
idea of not being able to be in business with your whānau or friends is just,
And why not spend, like, your work relationships are one of the most, like, bigger as far as time goes relationships that you have. Like, why not spend that time with people you actually like, eh?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
we break all those rules, eh?
Yeah.
I'm in business with my best mate. We hire heaps of our mates.
Yeah. And their mates.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
nepotism? No. Is it
Right here, right here.
I just know something.
Google it.
Like,
Google it.
that's
like
the
incest,
right
is that
term.
what you're saying?
It's a smaller word.
Oh, like favoritism.
What's nepotism?
Nepotism is when you like favour your family, your whānau
Oh,
into
yeah.
roles.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
the real
friend
thing.
Similar.
That was
nepotism
yours.
then.
It's
That
what
was
I
yours.
think.
Pity no one got your joke though. Nah.
I just like throwing up big words like here. Eh? Supercalifragilistic.
Nah, mean boys.
So how did you guys then choose the space?
The space chose us.
Did I?
Yeah, I feel like that.
It's an awesome space.
Yeah.
You go downstairs and see that hangout area down there, and the staff, and
Yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
You guys
It was a
have
building.
achieved a lot.
It blew me away, and it's not because I expected low, from you fellas. It's just because I thought it would be smaller, but it's so much bigger.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're already like, it's too small, man.
Yeah.
We need we're looking at what's next. And I mean, we're not bursting at the seams, but we can just see more, I guess. But now 2018, I think we got into this deal with the Southern Initiative, which is a part of Auckland Council.
Yep.
So they were kind of hustling within or organising within council departments. So Auckland AT, the Economic Development Agency, and Panuku, the property part of council. And these guys were looking at trying to develop a combination, which was like a maker space to help improve the kind of maker culture in South Auckland, along with a space for people to collaborate and for entrepreneurs to kind of set up. And so that was kind of where the first partnership with Grid AKL, with Grid Auckland started. But it was still a hard job. We still had to bring 120K with us, so we had a lot of fundraising to do at the start there. So that was 2018, and then now that was a 3-year contract, which would have been finished around about now, maybe March. Yep. And then we've entered into another 3 years with AT.
So they bring some funding, and then also you guys had to provide a portion of that funding.
Yeah.
With us, this is where this is probably a longer conversation than what we probably have time for. But our experience with government agencies has always been terrible. Whether you look at, won't name any names. I'll get into that because there's not enough time to justify it. But
but Sione at MSD,
Callahan Innovation is super difficult to deal with and to understand.
Yeah.
And I've been on this warpath where I think the name sucks. the name Callahan Innovation, you don't name Sports New Zealand John Lima Rugby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a few things, and it separates people that are not in the know to funding because they don't back pay.
Yeah.
So one of the struggles for us is it's that's why Korkiri, I didn't want to go to Korkiri because it was sponsored by I thought it was going to be a joke. Yeah. I thought it was going to be terrible. And it's sad because the government in general, even your guys' situation, has helped, whether it's Auckland Council or whatever, it's been awesome. So to be on the other side, the business side, just straight, we're a business who is trying to sell a product. It's been terrible. And so it's cool to hear a story like that.
I mean, it's not easy. No lies about it. It's been really, really tough. We're in a good position now, I think, because we've hung in there. Yep. And we've been intentional. Partnerships and collaboration is a way that we do business. It's one of the key, strategies and facets to how we do what we do, because everything we do is driven by impact, not by dollars. Yeah. Even though we want to continue to improve our economic wealth or our economic well-being, it's not the big driver for us. So we have to do that. You can't really do that just as a business, and government can't do it by itself, and a lot of community organisations can't do it by themselves either. So I think embracing that and intentionally building meaningful partnerships and relationships is starting to work in our favour now. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the cool podcasts I could see happen though, is around the conversation of how to work government departments and which ones apply to which, because
you got to play the game, man.
And outside looking in, it looks like every government department would help you. R&D, I need some of that. TPK, I need some of that. It looks like from the outside looking in, I can apply for all of these grants, but in reality, what's hidden behind the curtain, it's just a big buzzer.
And quite often it can be the amount of effort you put in as to the value of the grant you got. So now you're already on the back foot by the time you get it.
And usually it's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous amount of effort. I remember 2 really funny situations. One was when we first met, when we were having talks about coming into this partnership in the early days in 2018. We met some of the the important people with some of the organisations that we were looking to partner with, and I can remember us bowling up into this interview, and I clearly remember the look on the CEO's face when he came in, and he was just the look he gave was where the heck did you drag these 2 out of? Where did you drag these 2 cats from?
These two?
Hey, they don't even wear shoes.
Straight up. But once they were able to look past that initial perception and see that actually we can come to do the mahi. And another time was when we opened this place. and Bob had
You mean?
like the
The
first in
First, okay.
2018, and all the stakeholders were here, including the mayor, Phil Goff, and Bob had documented the whole journey, the RFP process up until, and so she had cut that down to a video that she showed to everyone that was here on the night. And there's just this one scene, her like, and I think you were just exhausted, Bob?
Yeah.
Like you were
I was
just
probably
out there.
crying.
It was probably 3:00 in the morning, and she's just looking at the video, going, honestly, working with council is horrible.
Hello, Douglas, my old friend.
And all
Everyone says to Phil.
and all you hear is a few like,
And no lie, afterwards, he beelines us
Yeah.
and starts to explain why council has to be rigid with processes. It's ratepayers' money. We have to be careful.
have to be
Blah, blah, blah,
accountable.
blah. And I was like, yeah, oh, God,
Good
so
But it's
on you.
cool
great. I
that
want
you
to
show
climb
that,
that.
though. It's cool that
Yeah.
you show because it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
frustrating, you
Yeah.
know. And it's not to say that they don't have to be rigid and all the rest.
Yeah.
of it. I don't know, but it's good.
It's got to
for
be a better
entrepreneurs.
system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
it
it
needs
was
to be
literally
challenged.
just like, it was me in my house, like on the bones of my bum, because I was still early stage,
Yeah.
like entrepreneur, trying to do an RFP process that they give to like Fletchers and stuff.
Yeah.
The amount of work that you have to put
I can
in
imagine.
and come through. And then you have to come and you almost had to perform at these presentations. One of the ladies said to me, oh, you know, you could show a bit of enthusiasm. And I was just like, honestly, what do you want me to be?
I've
Like,
been up all night doing the bloody
Yeah.
forms. Yeah.
You want my
and now you
blood?
want me to dance around for you? You want me to do a
3
kapa
months.
haka?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed really ridiculous, Like, but we got there in the end, and you know, we there's still a few tense relationships from that. So, you know, South Auckland's not a big place,
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Yeah.
You,
so
you get thick
combine
skin,
that with that's what I mean. Like this is the heart, I think, and the soul and the bones of being an entrepreneur. Is to balance like council, you know, in our case like Callahan to TPK, all that stuff, and then customers, then staff, then premises, you know, all simultaneously wear all those hats and wear them well.
Yeah,
Yeah, handle it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky we suit hats,
Yeah, but I think that is like some pretty resilient stuff that you guys would have to
Yeah.
go through
Yeah,
to get to where you are.
definitely. We got a little kind of commission to run a podcast series for the Akina Foundation and for this thing they called the Impact Initiative, which was awesome because it fed into like DIA stuff and that. But essentially we did 5 episodes about our journey, and we ended up naming it Stronger Than You Think, because just to kind of tap on that perception, I suppose, that Pacific or Māori communities don't have what it takes. So that was quite cool to be able to put that out and I don't know, get a bit of influence in there through our journey.
Yeah.
And that was where we had that conversation around benefactor syndrome, because we did enter into that a little bit once we'd signed the deal with council. The very first comment that the council employee made to me was like, "I own you now."
Wow.
I know.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I
and so
own you
that's
now.
the kind of like attitude, I suppose. So it was like that. We'd signed a contract for this building, but all of a sudden the expectation was to do
Sounds
stuff
like
out
the
there.
Treaty of Waitangi.
Yeah. And now you need to go do this over here. Now you need to get all the other government agencies on board, and you need to be part of this. And when you put your foot down, they get frustrated with you because they paid some money for that other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
we're
need
like,
to do
"No,
all our
you-
reporting.
And you have to draw the line,
yeah.
and they're not going to like it. And so, yeah, like I said, it's not easy.
But when you actually look at like, and this other thing too is, so I've had, you know, we've seen discrepancies in certain processes. We then bring that up to the department head or to the person that's helping us process it, and you basically, when you track it, when you push on that person, they say, "Oh, it's because of this," and you look at it, it basically all gets up to the mandates. The mandate that's given from the government sometimes is so poor, whether it's intentional or not, it's so poor that it stops a lot of the funding from getting out there. Especially, and like you look at all the government departments, especially to Māori. And it's just not fair. I mean, 0.5% from Callahan Innovation.
Crazy, eh?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And
You can never talk to Shelley out there before you go. She works
true.
for Callahan.
Oh, Oh, true.
I think she's the one that crosses everyone's names out. Nah, she's awesome. She's actually really awesome.
Put a tick down there.
Hard out. No, I mean, I think, honestly, I feel like we could keep chatting forever, but we're gone over the 1 hour mark, so we might call it a day there.
Wow.
I know, it goes so easy, eh?
Yeah.
It goes so fast. But thank you guys so much for coming through today.
Yeah.
It was awesome to have you in our whare.
Yeah.
To
hard
be able
out.
to
Appreciate
bless
it.
you with the goodness we got going on here.
Thank you for sharing, your guys' experience as well.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
I feel like we've like connected so much, but it barely got to know
Yeah.
each other's stories.
I know, eh? It's crazy.
Learn it on a podcast.
Yeah.
Just out of respect, next time bring some fresh jokes.
Hey, out of respect, let me finish my jokes. If I come here next time and you guys are finishing my jokes, I'm going to give you 3 strikes and I'm going to walk out. And that would have been 30 minutes ago, mate.
Loadable. Thanks so much. Thanks everyone for listening in. It's been awesome.
Ka
Ka
kite.
kite.
Ka kite anō.